So recently, David Archuleta, the guy from American Idol, said that he was gay, which is not a surprise because there's a lot of gay people out there, singers. But what makes this case special?
Well, the sad part is people have said over the years, because he's been out there for quite a while, that if he sings a song that sounds okay, that should be enough. And we don't believe that it is. If we are considering a song that we're going to play as part of our worship service, or we're going to play it as part of one of our, part of our gatherings, the song has to be good, and the person who's singing it has to have a good testimony. And this is a prime example of why you don't just go along with whatever sounds good. I mean, there are people who play Christmas music, and Elvis is singing Christmas, or Alan Jackson is singing gospel, or Johnny Cash, who I believe was saved. Johnny Cash did come to the Lord before he died, so he was a Christian. But during a lot of his life, he was not a Christian. He was going out smoking and drinking, and then he would show up and make albums that were supposed to be Christian. Well, with Archuleta, a lot of his songs, especially some of the songs that he puts out around the holidays, they're fine. He's singing hymns from hundreds of years ago, and people have said that should be good enough. And we're saying no. The life of the person that's singing the song is just as important as what the song says. So the song needs to be biblical. It can't be some heresy where God's my buddy and he gives me everything I want, or in some cases, Jesus is my boyfriend and I love him romantically and I can't wait until I go spend eternity with Jesus. Like he's some kind of glorious Fabio or something that's going to make their day. It has to be their life has to be part of the equation. So Archuleta has been singing Christian songs. Christians who don't have any discernment or any standards in that area, they buy that. The LDS Church now has to decide if they want to have him continue singing at their events, because up until yesterday, he was just a Mormon singer who could sing anywhere. But now that he's embraced the LGBTQ plus whatever we're on, now they have to decide, do they want to compromise? And I believe that they will. I don't think they'll ban him from anything. I think they'll just ignore it and hope that people move on. But as believers and as Bereans, we need to do our homework. The songs that we listen to need to be biblical. We don't want people singing to us bad theology, teaching us things that are not scriptural. And the person who's leading that song needs to be anointed, and they need to be living a life that's a testimony, because they're not going to lead you into the presence of God if they're not eligible or worthy of being in the presence of God. And the way we know that is their songs are anointed. If God says it's okay, then you can be sure that God is involved in that ministry and not just somebody who has a really good voice, because there are many singers out there that have excellent voices. They are very good singers, and Archuleta is one of those. He's got a very good voice, but it's not about how they sound. It's not about how they look. It's not about if they can play a bunch of instruments. It's about their heart. Because worship and people who lead worship need to be able to lead you into the presence of God. And if they're not eligible because of the way they live their life, you will never experience God or his presence when they're trying to lead you someplace they don't go.